All right. Barless episode. Let's go.
I'm crossing you over in the bayou.
I know where this is going.
I ran past you. Bayou.
Oh, man. I thought it was going to be more clever than that, but I didn't.
No, Bayou, like Bayou Classic, like Louisiana, but I crossed you over.
Chirp,
you know how you say Bayou, you know, when you cross somebody. Okay.
I wish I had some cricket noises.
Chirp, chirp. Okay, you know what? I'm for the
chirp,
sake.
Chirp, but that sounded like a bird.
That was a bird.
How do you make a cricket sound with your mouth?
Nope. Just rub your arms together. You might be ashy.
Shut up.
Rub
ashy.
your feet
That's
together.
not how that goes.
Don't they have like little jagged, you know?
That's not ash. Thick facts. Guess what mine has to do with?
Animals.
Crickets.
No.
So I'm glad you set me up with that alley. All right. Check this out. It's kind of mind-blowing. Crickets' chirps are consistent with air temperature. By counting the chirps in the span of 25 seconds, you divide by 3, then add 4, and it will equal the temperature in Celsius.
Get out of here.
How they even figure that out is crazy.
Right?
Here it goes. Crickets chirp by rubbing their wings or legs over each other. This phenomenon is known as stridulation. It is a means by which male crickets call to females to communicate their interest in mating. So anytime you hear some chirps, they're trying to have a little cricket orgy. Did you know that you can count the number of chirps to get the temperature of your environment without ever looking at the thermometer? There are several chirp temperature formulas out there, but most often the one that's cited is the Old Farmer's Almanac, which states, to convert cricket chirps to degrees Fahrenheit, you count the number of chirps in 14 seconds, then add 40 to get the temperature.
Oh, 40. Okay. Wow.
So 30 chirps in 30 chirps in 14 seconds plus 40 equals 70 degrees.
Wow.
So I guess it's
that would be Fahrenheit though, right?
Fahrenheit. So 4 to equal Celsius and 40 to equal Fahrenheit.
Okay. Got it.
So to convert cricket chirps to degrees Fahrenheit, you count the number of chirps in 14 seconds, then add 40 to get the temperature. And then to convert cricket chirps to degrees Celsius, you count the number of chirps in 25 seconds, divide by 3, then add 4 to get the temperature.
Okay.
I don't know how a farmer figured that out. Maybe they worked backwards from the temperature and then was just like, oh, that's crazy.
Because I just go outside and I'm like, it's around 70s.
Lick the finger. This was done by... This closely approximates air temperature as found in research done by Dr. Peggy Lamone, which is she's from a science program funded by NASA, and her results greatly simplified show that her findings of counting chirps in 13 seconds plus 40 confirm the wisdom of the Old Farmer's Almanac. Oh, so she just double checked it. The old farmer had it.
Right.
They were cricket whisperers.
Anybody named Peggy makes sense. Peggy Bundy kind of messed me up because anybody named Peggy, I already think like she got big hair and she just looked like Peggy.
But
Bundy.
Peggy Lamone might be black.
Peggy
Oh, moan. Wow. All right, what you got?
That was a good fact. That's crazy.
It's a lot of math, but I liked it.
So I'm gonna keep it going with animals.
Okay.
Animals can experience time differently than humans. To smaller animals, the world around them moves more slowly compared to humans. Salamanders and lizards, for example, experience time more slowly than cats and dogs. This is because the perception of time depends on how quickly the brain can process incoming information. I would have thought it was opposite.
What?
I would have thought but that does make more sense because...
But 5 minutes is 5 minutes. You're just saying how they perceive it.
How time moves differently for animals. Maybe that's why dogs have a shorter lifespan than us. I don't know. Like because
of how they perceive time.
Well, maybe how they experience time. You know,
that has nothing to do with their internal organs and stuff like that. Aging?
Like how small they are, right?
I don't know. So you mean
It says smaller animals, the world moves slowly around smaller animals. And that makes sense because think about reaction times, right? Smaller, like trying to catch a fly, a fly that's in its prime,
in its prime as opposed to a washed up fly?
Them flies that zit, that's a lot more
I thought
difficult.
that was skill.
No, I think it's about their reaction time, how they view time. Reaction time is time, and so I think,
So if a cat chased a lizard and the cat was just like, damn, oh well, and the lizard be like, that nigga was chasing me for 2 weeks.
The cat is 5 minutes, the lizard is 2 weeks.
That nigga chased me for 7 months straight. I'm exhausted.
But maybe that's why, like, think about the cartoon movies, the animal cartoon movies or the bug movies. When people are coming, it seems like we come in slow motion, right? The giants, it's like boom, boom, boom. And I wonder if
is that because we just bigger and slower?
Well, bigger. I'm saying that's the whole thing is size. That's what they're talking about. Smaller animals experience time differently than.
Interesting. That's confusing.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's a reason why they depict it the way they do in like the cartoon movies and stuff like that. It's like when you go to swat a fly, it's like we looking like this. So the fly is easily looking at us like, oh, you ever, try to step to the side if somebody running slowly at you because your reaction time is faster than theirs.
What about big cats that are quick as hell, like cheetahs?
I still think, I don't know.
They're not as quick as smaller things?
I think their processing internally might have something. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if this was talking about speed exactly as opposed to perceiving. That's interesting.
Yeah, this was just they experience time more slowly than cats and dogs.
So elephants be over it.
Who's so damn slow?
They be over it. All right. Let's get into these facts. We had a long episode last week, so this one might be a little bit compact. Mine is interesting.
Mine too.
Hood Family Feud. Name something a broke guy always got. Who you think posted this? A man or a woman?
Oh, audacity. A woman, I think.
Why couldn't it just be a broke person?
Okay. Was it a broke person?
No, they said broke guy. They specific.
So yeah, it was a woman that posted it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because y'all not putting each other out there like that, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're like Derek Jackson or something.
Mm.
But I definitely, sorry, I didn't mean to jump the gun and say audacity, but I just feel like that might be in there. It might be the first thing you see on there.
What you got?
Man goes on solo vacation after his girlfriend couldn't pay for her expenses. I know you already
King. Big king energy. It's like, I'll send you photos.
No. So this is just a little article that I saw, and I was like, this is insane.
So one's about a broke man, one's about a broke woman.
Yep. I'm going to go first since you went first last time.
Okay.
All right. A 39-year-old man took to Reddit's AITA thread to seek advice after deciding to go on a solo vacation for his 40th birthday because his girlfriend couldn't afford to join him.
The birthday trip.
Despite being in a new relationship of only 3 months, he offered to pay for their lodging if she could cover her airfare, but she still couldn't afford it due to $20,000 in credit card debt from a past unemployment period. The situation led to a disagreement, with the man's friends and family divided on whether he was in the wrong or not. Was he in the wrong?
All right. So that wasn't as savage as I thought it was. So let's break this down. Relationship's new. Okay. So he has that on his side. Okay. Second, he offered the lodging. Okay. it was a milestone birthday. My first thought was like, why not just not go to the trip? Like, why not just postpone the trip until you get the funds together?
Mhm.
He's like, 40th birthday. I have to celebrate this
Mhm.
how I want. And it's a new relationship. So for me, those two things together is like new relationship, milestone for me. I would rather do this birthday how I want because I live for 40 years.
Mhm.
And then this newer relationship isn't as important. Okay.
Mhm.
I get that there's a lot of audacity with that, but milestone, birthday, new relationship, those are big factors.
Mhm.
He did offer to pay for
The hotel.
the hotel. I don't know what his financial situation was. Maybe this was like this trip. I wanted to do this trip. I can't really afford to do the whole thing.
Mhm.
Let's just get your flight. So that's a lot on his side. Now, also $20,000 in debt is a lot,
Mhm.
but where was the trip? Like, how far was it? Because why not make it 22,000 in debt? You know, what's the difference?
Maybe she can't get no more advances.
Okay. And I think the only thing on her side was like, damn, that's messed up. You know, there's not like a lot of, I can't think of the firepower except the fact that like a man should pay the woman's way. I get that. But they didn't explain the financial situation. It's the 40th birthday and the new relationship are the biggest standouts for me. I don't think he's in the wrong.
I'm kind of divided on the matter.
Mhm.
Honestly, I feel like I wonder if he would have been able to front it. I feel like if he really, really wanted her there, she
Mhm.
would have been there.
Mhm.
So I wonder if the fact that she couldn't afford that, he kind of used that to get himself out of a relationship because I can't see a relationship continuing after that.
Really? You can't
You
come.
went
You
on-
can't have him come back like,
I don't know.
let me tell you
It's too
all
new.
about it.
Yeah, it's too new. And it's like, okay, well, you're not going then. I'm just gonna go celebrate my 40th birthday by myself.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking it might be like out of the country, you know?
So the flight
So-
was crazy. But why are we assuming that he could afford to front it? This could have been just like a trip to Mexico. You
Yeah.
know, something light that you could quickly save up for. And I
Mhm.
honestly think that if the relationship is new, I could see if they were like, you know, years and years in. But if the relationship is new, do you sacrifice what your own milestone birthday because who you're with can't pull their own weight and you can't pull both of y'all weight? Because there is a responsibility on him. If we're gonna be like she broke, it's also like why not him cover it because that's what the
Right.
man is supposed to do in a lot of the situations. But if he couldn't do it and she couldn't do it, what was supposed to happen? He was supposed to stay home?
No, and I think there is a level. There's also, I think, coming into 40 is a new chapter. At any time you hit like a milestone birthday, you
Mhm.
know, 18, 21, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, you know, when you come into those milestone birthdays, sometimes those are, when things happen like that, those are signs to me. It's like, okay,
You're all like spiritually aware.
yeah, you just like warning signs, you know.
For the woman or the man?
For him, I would
Oh,
say
yeah.
is like, okay, I'm turning 40 and I don't know if I want to bring this into 40. You know, so
she
sometimes
20,000
like,
in debt.
yeah, so sometimes she can't at least pay for her own flight. It's kind of like you're gonna have that issue.
Mhm.
Because honestly, if it was me and my man in 3 months, you still in the honeymoon phase, you still googly eyed over each other.
Mhm.
So me, 3 months, I'm going to drive DoorDash, Uber Eats, you know, I'm Uber. Like
If
I'm
you
gonna
were the
try
girl.
to. If I'm the girl, I'm
Okay.
gonna try to do all that I can to make it on this trip. You know. So
What if you were the guy?
If I was the guy, if I could afford,
No, if you couldn't. I mean, we're assuming he couldn't.
if I couldn't, it all depends on how I feel about her. And if my feelings are strong enough, because I know how my feelings are. So if my feelings are strong enough for her that I'm just like, man, I really don't want to do this trip without her. Like we got this vibe. I just feel like I would enjoy my time more if that person was there. I would find a way to get that person there.
But what about the whole looking for signs thing? You know,
I'm saying there's some people that would look at that like
wouldn't.
that.
So you would be okay with a new relationship where, and I'm not saying she's at fault for this, but $20,000 in debt for whatever reason, still can't, put that on the credit. And like you said, if you were the woman, you would DoorDash, do all this stuff to make that happen. It doesn't seem like she is,
Right.
And the 20,000 in debt, just calling out the facts, came from an unemployment period. So if you are in the mindset of new chapter, looking for signs, would you want to bring that type of energy into 40?
So if I'm trying to jump into the mind of a man, which y'all tell us not to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. From my understanding, you guys don't have really high financial expectations for us. It seems like the average guy does not have high expectations financially from his woman. And there's a lot of relationships where I saw like a lot of guys, even I read through some of the comments, was like, if that's my girl, she's not paying. I don't care if it's my birthday or not. She, if I want her there, she's gonna be there. I'm gonna make it happen.
Sure.
So if finances aren't a huge priority because I'm gonna be the breadwinner anyway, and I'm gonna be taking care of a lot of that, I think that's not really going to be too much. And then coming into 40, if all you got is $20,000 in debt, that's honestly, that's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? $20,000 in debt is not that bad.
That could be everything to some people, depending on how often or how big the amount of money is that's coming in. So I just want to break it down like this. It's a spectrum, right? If he didn't have it at all, he wouldn't probably be going out of town for his birthday.
Right.
If he had it, this wouldn't be an issue at all. He'd cover the entire thing. So somewhere in the middle of that, we know that it isn't, like niggas who absolutely don't have it, who don't care about the stigma, they're half on everything. You paying for half a dinner, you paying for half the bills, blah, 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 blah. It wasn't that, because there was a compromise, The only reason I would see him having the compromise of all, cover housing, which I assume comes with like all the little stuff in that, like food and all that. He was just like, all you got to do is the flight.
Just get us.
So
get
instead of doing the entire, because I'm assuming that the tickets were somewhat expensive, and if it's his 40th, I'm assuming he's doing first class, business class, something like really going in. So if the compromise was in between, you don't have to pay anything and you don't have to pay half of everything, it's just you have to pay this one thing. I'm assuming he was making what he had stretch, and that was what he can do, So I want to give him some.
Do you go ahead? Give him his props. Give him his.
I want to give. I don't want to, because like in the society we live in, especially if you post that on the internet, women of all people, and probably men too, are just going to be quick to be like, he broke, he should have done this, blah, 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 blah. When it's like, you don't know their situation. Maybe that was the best he could do. And since she wasn't able to do even that, he wasn't willing to sacrifice such a milestone. Because who knows, he might have been wanting to go to, Japan his entire life. Or like since he would hit mid-30s, he's like, I have to see Africa, Does he throw all of that away for a new relationship when the one thing that he had to have her do couldn't be covered? Now, because of our responsibility as a man, it's probably really easy to shit on him for that. But it's also like, call it how it is. She was in debt. She didn't have it. She couldn't cover just that. And that was what he could do. So within their situation, what I think it is, just from breaking it down, I think it would be weird to fault him. And I
Mhm.
think it's weird for his family member to fault him over such a
Well, it
weird...
says his family
It's
they're split.
Exactly.
And
But it's like they don't know that girl.
yeah. I wonder how how the flights were purchased. Was it like, I'm gonna buy my ticket, you better get yours?
Right.
Like, then it's like, damn. Like, I wonder if he just went ahead and like bought his ticket without her. Cause honestly, I feel like when you purchase flights, you purchase them together. So it's like, okay, can you send me your money for the flight? It was almost like he needed to, have that.
It was awkward no
in
matter how
advance.
you cut it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think I've dealt with situations where he's like, okay, if I'm gonna pay for a flight or something like that, or I'll cover whatever I end up getting paid back later, or I pay him back later. So it's
have
never
money.
stopped anything. Yes, I know. I know.
I think that it's...
But we're assuming he doesn't.
We have to break this down based on this scenario, because the weird part for me is like, damn, why would the family members be split about this unless they're exactly how I was saying the internet would, you the man, you're supposed to blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, if I don't have it right now, then I don't have it, but it's my 40th birthday.
But I wonder if he does have it,
He was
and
just
that's
principal?
why... That's the other side of the coin with the family. The split might be, bruh, you have it. Why not just do it?
Right.
Versus, because I feel like if he didn't have it, I can't see your family being like,
That's why.
whoa, why? That's why I'm saying, like, if he doesn't have it, his family probably would have been on his side completely. Because like, if you don't have it, you don't have it.
Because you're assuming that he's unreasonable as opposed to them being unreasonable. And I'm sure that if they're split down the middle, I'm sure there's some unreasonable people out of them.
But
if he had it, that information should have been provided. So based on what the information that we have, I'm assuming that it was a financially tight situation. If he had it and didn't pay, then it's just like, we can just wrap this up to him being weird or an asshole or something.
What would be the other argument then? What would be the other argument for his family? Well, for his family to be like, to be split down the middle.
I told you, it's the same as the internet would think. You the man, that's messed up. You should just cover the whole thing.
I can't see a man's family being like, oh, I know you ain't got it, but you should have took her anyway. Like,
that's what the internet would say.
I'm saying? But that's different than your family, because usually your family is kind of on your side, so especially with a new woman coming into the picture. Like new woman. No, I didn't say always. I said usually. Usually your family is kind of on your side. They kind of like...
Not all of them.
Especially... Not all of them. I'm not saying all.
But that's my point.
Usually...
Okay.
I think that people have kind of a protective factor over their family versus the internet being like, you should have did this, and that. Because usually the family kind of has a little bit more information behind the scenes. So...
But I'm saying, you said usually, so that may be why it's split down the middle. The other people... would be the ones that is just on your ass because you're a man.
I'm just wondering if the family knows, like, you got it, why not just do it, versus you don't have it, so why not just do it? You know what I'm saying? So I that is a missing piece of information for this article. But we can't just assume one way and not have a different assumption another way. I get confused on social media with what men expect from women financially. Yeah. I'm just going to say on social media, because that's kind of where you see a bulk of whether people agree on a subject or disagree on a subject or are split down the middle. And I feel like I see so often men keep saying, I don't care how much money a woman has. She could work at Taco Bell. She could work at this. If I like her, I like her. I don't expect her to have money, blah, blah, blah. I don't expect this financially from her. And then they even come at women who do have money and be like, y'all know that niggas don't want you for your money, So you kind of, from a woman's perspective, just seeing a lot of what expectations are from us financially, it seems like that's not something that you guys are really looking for from us. So in this situation, if she's received any message like that, then it's kind of like, okay, I don't have it. Clearly, he's still with me. He's in a relationship with me. We're 3 months in. He know I don't have money. And I'm trying to deal with whatever this debt is. Maybe she's actually paying on the debt, and she just didn't have it. I felt like, I just wonder, like, what is that caveat that made him say, okay, I just can't. It could definitely be that he didn't have it. He genuinely didn't have it. Or it could be that, okay, you're not pulling your end of the weight. So I don't want this coming into this new chapter, this new age chapter of my life. Or it could be that, you need to be more financially responsible, and I'm not going to pick up your slack because, I gave you the bare minimum and you couldn't even do the bare minimum of just
that could be
at least getting the flight.
That's what I was thinking. It could be like a principles thing. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what happened in that 3 months? Maybe he saw, her being financially irresponsible, not pulling her weight, like just expecting sort of everything. So when it got to his birthday, it was just like you said, all you have to do is the bare minimum. That could be one thing. It could be he had it, but he didn't want to spend that much. So he was just like, help out with a little bit. The only other thing I could think of was just like housing. He was going to pay for, if he was housing himself, he was going to pay for that anyway. So it could have just been like, I don't want you to go.
Exactly. And that's what I was thinking, because I've just seen so much where guys are like, if I want her there, she's going to be there. Like, I'm going to find a way to make sure that she's there. And so it's like, you going off.
I don't think he's wrong for that either.
I'm in between, because we don't have all the information to say like why, but I, in my heart of hearts, feels like that was his ending of the relationship. So
out of all the scenarios we broke down,
it's kind of
the one that makes him the most asshole, which is just like, I don't want you there. That's the one you think it is.
I don't think that makes him an asshole. I think that is definitely something that is definitely a relationship ender. I will say that. And I think that if there were things that led up to that, and he's just like, you know what? I don't want this, because it kind of talked to the point of, I don't want this coming into my 40s, this chapter. So that would be a relationship ender, because I don't know if there's too many women that would be like, oh yeah,
hit me when you get back.
Right. Especially a new relationship. And being that it's that 3 month mark, maybe the honeymoon period is coming to an end, and you're starting to see, because sometimes like 3 months be that little cat, like at the end of that 3 months, it's like, okay, now the freshness is kind of wearing off a little bit, and I'm having more conversations. I'm seeing you a little bit more, and maybe, there's just things that he saw there. He said, okay.
I think we broke down. I feel like one of those has to be right. I think we broke down almost every angle or possibility with the information that we gave. I don't choose to. I'm not choosing the one that's the most negative on his part.
To villainize him?
Yeah, because I feel like that's the one that's just like, fuck this girl, whereas all the other ones was either situational based on what he had, or just like something that could be considered reasonable, like I haven't seen any financial responsibility for you. If you want to come, start something, do something to get there, like almost like setting a boundary.
Let me ask you this. When he gets back, what's the conversation?
You want to know how it was? You want to see some pictures? I don't know. I don't. And at the end of the day, I'm still sticking by the two pieces of information that we were given, which was 40th birthday, new relationship. So I feel like at the end of the day, this is something very, very big for him. And this is something that's very, very new. So whether he had it or not, I feel like there's no way for me. I don't even know him, but like, unless he was just known for doing this, I don't see a way that villainizes him. Either he couldn't
Right.
afford it, either he set a boundary and she didn't step up, or he was just trying to go by himself.
Or
and I think that all three of those are fine.
He might have expectations for his woman to hold her weight financially.
Yeah.
And clearly she didn't do that.
Mhm.
And on her part, it's like, girl, if you want to go, if you, I don't feel like it's unreasonable to ask him to I don't think it's unreasonable for him to ask her to take care of her flight. If that's all you got to pay for.
Right.
I've experienced that. All I
Mhm.
had to do was pay for the flights, and he
Mhm.
took care of everything else.
Mhm.
And I took care of them flights, like, you know.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I've made a way out of no way before. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for things that I really wanted, places that I wanted to be, whether I had to pick up another job to do so, like, I made a way, you know. And for somebody that I have like a strong attachment to, a new relationship, feelings for, or whatnot, there's just, I just make a way, you know. Even if it's impractical, you know, get a payday loan or something like that, even though you shouldn't, you know. There's
Right.
just things that, you know, and she might have people in her ear too. He making you pay. He making you pay for your flight. He not flying you out, even though his birthday. He not flying you out. He don't want you. He don't
For
really
sure.
want you there. You know, she might have been getting, you know, different messages from her people that encouraged her to not do it, to set a boundary in the relationship. I'm not gonna
that
be.
boundary kept her ass at home with $20,000 in debt.
It did, and probably ended that relationship, because I just can't see the conversation coming back. Like, okay, now you're gonna get your shit together. Now you see, you know, it
Right.
definitely, you know, he's, you know, he might have that personality where he's like, he has that boundary where, like, look, if I let you get away with this, then what is my future going to look like? I'm going to be pretty much handling all her shit because she can't even get the
Right.
flight for my.
And he's probably
for
like,
my
damn, that
birthday.
20,000 might fall on me
Yeah.
if this gets serious. So
Right.
I'm not against him.
I
think he made a choice for himself.
That
was probably his little birthday gift to himself. Crazy scenario though.
And a lot of the comments were definitely on his
Really?
side. His side.
Reasonable internet. That's random.
Yeah. They were and somebody said, nope, I hope you mean ex-girlfriend. Like, definitely but everybody was like, good choice. You did the right thing. Like, you know.
It's your
and
40th.
Mhm.
Don't let a little 20,000 homeless person ruin your. No, I'm just kidding. My thread: Hood family feud. Name something a broke guy always got. Number 1, goals.
Dreams.
Baby mothers.
Uh-huh.
Weed.
Okay. I'm
Guess
waiting.
what?
I'm waiting. For
Ding,
my
ding,
word.
ding. The fucking nerve and audacity.
Oh man, I got another one. I'm just waiting for it to be said.
Time.
Mm.
A mama who swear he the greatest gift to
Ooh,
women.
child. That wasn't mine, but yes.
This is probably yours. They always got eggplant emoji.
Yep. There it is. The broke dick be breaking bitches off.
The next one is a nurse for a girlfriend. That's crazy.
Oh my God. Did you see that video of the dude who he's a live-in boyfriend? And guess what? His girlfriend. They did
Nurse?
the day in the life. Yeah, she's in the medical field.
And he don't have a job?
Nope. He sit at home. He play video games. But I don't know. I don't
Do they
think
have a kid?
Nope.
So he's
He
not
is
even really
a-
taking care of nothing?
Nope. He swept the porch and took she took the trash out.
Holy shit.
He even talks slow.
I'll be on my best behavior. A story about what they used to have. A baby on the way.
Mm-hmm.
A way to get a job he won't keep.
It's crazy how many things broke men have.
His girl's car.
Little Jody.
This is crazy. An opinion about what women need to do.
Ooh, Lord. A podcast mic.
Excuses. An opinion. We kind of said that already.
Mhm.
Audacity is on here a lot, actually.
Mhm.
A get-rich-quick scheme waiting to come through.
Mhm.
That's definitely.
Little pyramid. Come drink this coffee. Sell this Herbalife.
Nigga said his hand out. A game system. An album on the way.
They eating broke niggas up right now.
Said a meal. Like, how they be so full.
Fat and broke.
Anger.
Yes.
Rims and no car. That's crazy specific.
Mm.
Uh,
Rims in the yard, maybe?
his baby mama EBT card.
Mm-hmm.
Kids.
The fact that that's a reoccurring theme is crazy.
Half a
Reoccurring
cigarette.
Let's talk about a bum now.
Desire for things out of their financial lane.
Mm-hmm. Beer money. Champagne taste.
Good head. That's so crazy how many repeats there are. It's a lot of audacity, a lot of dick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A brand new phone.
Because they be fucking for their lives.
For real though.
Yes.
Like, I don't put this down. I'm on the streets.
Right. Exactly. And then if you put it down on the right one that got a little fat wallet, you set.
That's crazy. Like, I'm just thinking about that dude you said that has a nurse girlfriend. So
Mhm.
she's in medical school or has a job.
Well, so it was just him saying my life as a live-in boyfriend. So it was, they have cameras in the house. So it just kind of showed what he did all day versus what she does all day. And he just sat, watched TV, played video games. She got ready in the morning. He kisses her before she goes off to work. She comes back for lunch for a little while.
He makes lunch?
No, he didn't make lunch.
So he's not doing nothing.
He's not doing anything. He's lazy as hell.
Well, what's crazy about that whole relationship is that in terms of like having a stay at home, when obviously like back in the day, it was like man goes to work, stay at home, woman or mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of doing shit all day too, whether it's the kids or like taking care of the
Right.
house and stuff.
He wasn't doing
But
shit.
there's-
House was cluttered. He almost forgot to sweep the porch. She had asked him to sweep the porch before. And when she got home, he was like, guess what? I swept the porch. And she's like, oh, really?
Oh,
He's
she
like,
got,
you want to come
she got
see?
a kid.
Yes.
That's a kid that can take care of himself. That's crazy because there be women that do that too. They just kind of chill at the house already. Niggas come home. There's no like, it's nothing.
I
Like
don't even think he brushed his teeth.
that's. I mean, you do be hearing about those like men who come home and they're like, "Where's dinner?" You know, why is there dishes and the blah 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 blah. But I get it because she has a right to do that too. She's just like, man, I've been working all day and now I have to work again when I get back.
She genuinely just loves that man because he is getting
I
away
don't get
with
how.
murder.
That's just like, I mean, to be honest, it's like with both genders, it's like it's just not attractive. Like
Right.
you don't want to do anything. Like I
Right.
get it. Like if you down bad and you just don't have a job right now, but it's like you don't want anything.
Right. The least you could do is like clean up. Like
Clean
I
up.
clean
Look for
up,
something to do.
like-
There's no long-term goals in that. Like what'd you do
Yeah.
today? I beat the fourth level of Super Mario. Cool. Was it hard? Like
Right. Did
You
you,
didn't-
eat? I think she brought him some chips back and she's like, I got you something. He's like, what? And she's
What?
like, It was just really like, there's definitely has to be some sort of like insecurity there on her part to deal with somebody who's just not giving back.
But who
at
doesn't
all.
want anything? That's just like that blows my mind. It's just like, damn, you even the like the weird ones like do with a get rich quick scheme or has an album on the way or just like all the like bum stuff is like they're at least pretending
Mhm.
to want something. They're at least have a goal, even if like half of those people don't even work on what they say they are, but like at least they have a trajectory in their mind that they're just not putting the work in. But like to
I
just
tried-
not do anything is crazy.
I try to understand situations like that because it's so unorthodox for me. And I wonder if I wonder if she enjoys her job and there's something about him that feels a need. Maybe he's calming for her. Maybe he's just like his presence is just enough
Sure.
for
It
her.
has to be
Maybe
some of that.
it has to be because he really don't be doing from the looks of it, he made it clear that he don't do shit. And I
Could be
wonder
trauma.
if it could be, but I wonder if just having a hug from somebody being home, maybe she has anxiety.
Right.
And
She can
living
get
alone.
that from someone
She
else.
definitely can. But I wonder if all of that laziness, that presence that he encompasses is enough for her to just be like, this works for me. It don't work for nobody else, but it works for me. And he's like, shit, works for me too.
The craziest mismatches when it be like just like someone with all their shit together and just like with a bum. Usually the bum is the man in the relationship. A lot of those times it'd be like, man, they were together since high school, blah blah blah. So they like it like locked in early, and then it just like grew to this weird thing, and you're just like, damn, like how did that even happen? But it's just like he got in at the right time and then just became awful.
I think with my view of dealing with broke men is just like, I mean, I've done it, you know. I've dealt with broke men, and I've been in the trenches. I have been in the trenches.
What does that mean?
Meaning, I've slept on the floor with him.
Okay. So he was the broke guy, but you were in the trenches because of that.
Right.
Got
so
it. Okay.
I was just like, but for me, there was a certain mindset that's attached to broke men in my experience. And they kind of mimic each other. The different one, the couple that I dealt with is kind of like, there's not, I know that some of those girls said goals, but in my experience, there was kind of a lack thereof. There weren't really goals like that. It was just kind of like on some, like they said, get rich quick, or try to just
unrealistic stuff,
or just like things that they didn't even really see. That complacency. I'll say complacency with just like being broke. It's like comfortable being broke. And I saw that mindset, and it's like, okay, you're not really trying to get a car. You're not really trying to move out of your parents' place.
There's got to be some type of ambition.
Yeah, you're not really trying to do these things, and you know, mid-30s or whatever, and you know, you're not trying to have your independence. And there's a whole mindset attached to that. And when you're somebody that's hustling and, you know, trying to make a way for yourself and trying to be successful, and then you're dealing with somebody who's like just complacent, and sometimes they cause problems because they can't understand your mindset on why you would want to start this business or why you would want to start that business, and you know, so, or why you would spend money for quality versus, you know, you could get that for, you know, 30 cents instead of paying $1. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not understanding the difference in the quality versus, you know, just getting by. And I think that broke mindset that I've experienced is just them trying to get by versus
doing
achieving.
Big. Yeah. Well, I think that, like, also, I'll end with this. The times are different now. And I feel like the whole model of like stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad was back when niggas was grabbing a hat and going to the steel mill and you had to like leave your house to work. But it's like with social media and everything going on with Amazon and all these people who are getting rich from their houses, like you can do a lot from the house. You don't have to. So it's just like, regardless of if somebody's, you know, staying at home while the other person's at work and you come back and they made 100,000, or if they just made, you know, did something and helped out, you know, like I think that the attractiveness for me, or the thing that I'm like, okay, this is cool, is just the ambition, the want to do something, because not wanting to do anything is crazy to me.
Yep.
But this has been another episode of Thick Threads. I've been Patrick Cloud.
And I'm Persephanie.
We'll see y'all. No, I'm just kidding. We'll see y'all niggas later. Bye.